live as part of the Grow, Profit, Scale giveaway. And maybe I've saved the best for last. I don't know. I'm really excited about today because I don't know if you've noticed out here in online world, a few things have changed, and not just minor changes. I mean, we're used to the minor changes that come around, algorithm changes, all those things. Those are normal. But what we've found is a lot of the online marketing strategies that people have relied on, those have fundamentally changed. And here's why today's topic and the guests that we're going to talk to are so important. I was sitting in a room with, a good 1,000 other business owners who do marketing or online marketing or digital marketing or anything like that. And the gentleman that was standing on the stage said the age of digital marketing is dead. And I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy coming from somebody that sells digital marketing services. I was like, okay, so why? And he goes, because we've relied so much on cracking the algorithm, we've failed to do the thing that's the most important. And that is your marketing message, your content, your copywriting. Now, I have a benefit. I have a degree in journalism, but not everybody does. And I work with a lot of business owners who feel like that's one of the most difficult things to get right, is that content, the how you show up, the messages that you share with other people. And that's why today's guests are absolutely fabulous for this. So we're going to talk, we've got 3 guests. We have Amy Hartman, who's going to talk to us about ad copy. We have Michelle Gunderson, who's going to talk about the power of story and why you really need to have it in your business. And then we're going to round it out with Christy Hansbeck, and we're going to talk all about visibility, the ability to be seen. That's kind of scary for some people. So I'm super excited about it. If today is the first time you've ever met me, my name is Leslie Hassler. I own Your Biz Rules Business Coaching, and I am the host of the Grow, Profit, Scale gift giveaway. And what I do is work with women-led service businesses to grow and scale in a way that's profitable and sustainable so that you can do your good work, you can build a brighter future, and you can have a greater impact in your community. And that's really important work, right? It's 80% of our small business economy are women and 80% are service-based businesses. You're the unsung heroes of the marketplace, and that's why I'm so committed to bringing you the very best. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring on one of our first guests. I'm going to move some of my notes. Let's see. So we're going to bring on Amy. And there we go. Howdy, Amy. Amy's coming on.
Hey, howdy.
Howdy, right back at you, right?
I did. I'm from Texas, so we say those things.
Oh, what part? Where are you from?
I live in Katy, which is right outside of the Houston area.
Oh, yeah. I grew up in Ayleaf.
Oh, perfect. And so yeah, howdy, right back at you.
You know exactly where I grew up. So yeah, and I'm also a Texas Aggie. So howdy is something really easy for me to say. But I love that you did that right back. So Amy, you're a digital marketing expert. You own It's Free Spirit Digital, which I kind of like because digital is a little technical and you're bringing a little free spirit in there.
Exactly.
So you help business owners get back to serving their clients, which is a big core part of our message with this gift giveaway, by implementing strategies that help them actually generate lead results. And I think that's so key. Like in small business, you don't have time to play. You need to be doing things that actually generate some results. So tell us just a little bit more about you, and then let's dig into our conversation.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So like you said, I'm Amy Hartman. Free Spirit Digital came sort of because I am a free spirit. I love travel. I love to be a little different. I'm a little quirky. And so I just felt like it was sort of that perfect combination, like you said. It's, when it comes to marketing, we've relied really heavily on all those algorithms and numbers and data. And the reality is that this is more of an art. And it's all about some other things that can make us stand out in the marketplace. And so we do everything from helping brands get known from the get-go, like from hello, all the way to conversion optimization. So getting those sales to work once you bring in those leads. So we help you bring in the leads and then take a look at your whole picture and make sure that we're hitting all the right points to convert.
So marketing is simple, yet complicated.
It is.
And everything works and nothing works.
All at the same time. And what
It's
works for you might not work for someone else.
exactly. So they can be really, really confusing. So help me understand, like if somebody's off, like their marketing's off, obviously they're not going to be getting the leads that they want. But what else might they be seeing in their business?
So a lot of times you're going to have, if your marketing is off, you're going to be bringing in the wrong, you're going to be attracting the wrong people. And not that people are wrong, but the people who are ready to convert for your business. So a lot of times we might even see leads being generated, but no conversions on the back end. And that just means that we need to optimize something within your journey, your buyer journey. It means we're not hitting the right points, or we're not attracting the right people. So what we do in marketing is all about making sure that our language is really appropriate and correct for the people who we want to attract, and also to help guide them through our journey. We've talked a lot about funnels, and we have this idea that the funnel is like a place where somebody comes in the top and goes straight down to the bottom and just like fall through. And that's not how it works. I always say you kind of almost, you have to be like a GPS, so that as people circle around and go to different people, that they can come back to you. They can, and from any point in their journey, they know how to get back to you. So we really have to work on that language. Otherwise, the conversion points, a lot of people bring in tons of leads every day, and then they're like, why are my conversion numbers not correct? And sometimes it's just a little tweak that we can do, and it solves all of that problem.
And that's what I found too, is usually people are, what is it, 5% away or 6% away, from really being able to nail it. And it's so hard to do that when you're doing it for yourself. I mean, I'm the same way, right? I'm too close to my stuff some days to see what's so simple. And that's why I rely on other consultants and experts, because you need that holistic kind of viewpoint. So your free gift that you're giving away as part of the Grow, Profit, Scale gift giveaway. And by the way, guys, if you want in, just type in giveaway into the comments, and our team will take care of you. You can also go to Grow, Profit, Scale Gifts, plural.com, if you want to check us out a little bit more. But so your free gift is all around ad copy. And we talked about the fact that, man, that landscape has changed so much. So tell us a little bit about that gift.
Yeah, so it is called How to Write Ad Copy That Converts. And we're really tackling something very important right now, which is language, the message that you're sending. When it comes to marketing, we communicate the messages in our writing and, of course, in our images as well. So images can help to grab attention, but what we say is more important in this landscape. So with all of the changes in the algorithm, and we won't get into a ton of that because that could take all day, but with all those changes, the message has become so important. And so this gift is about how to do that. And we're tackling it from three places. So instead of just saying, okay, here is the framework or the template that I use, and you go through these 3 steps to get someone, to guide someone through their journey. First, we need to figure out what language belongs in there. And so we tackle your ideal client, really understanding who that is, and then something that I call their money language. So learning what language gets them to hand over their money.
And it's different. It's so different. People think it's about money. But a lot of times, depending on your market, that may be a point of aversion versus attraction.
Exactly. So we need to be speaking the language that they're speaking, and the language that they use on a daily basis is what's going to attract them. It's kind of like a mirror, and so we want to mirror their language. So teaching you how to understand that language, what that language is, and then we apply that into the framework. And so I've provided one framework. There are many different ones. With our clients, we use all different kinds, but the one that I've provided is kind of one that typically will work if you've done the prior work. So we teach you how to put it all together into this framework. And so that's what it's about. It's 3 steps basically. And I love it. And we actually use this framework for all of our clients. It's kind of where we start, and then we grow from there.
So I love the language you're using with the word journey. And I know from an online marketing, digital marketing perspective, there is something called a customer value journey, right? That you want to kind of step them through. But what I hear you say, in the way that I hear you use it, I think is very similar to how we think about it. We tell our clients all day long, it's not our job to judge where you are on the journey, because we are all on a different journey. It's just our job to help you along the journey.
For sure.
right? To get to where you want to go. And I think maybe I'm inferring here, but with what you're saying, I kind of feel like that's what you're trying to do with the marketing message, is really help people not only identify the right people and what journey they're on, but
Mhm.
help them really become a servant in that way, in service of somebody else on their personal journey.
Yeah,
Am I tracking right?
you are absolutely. Yeah, 100%. And really, because since we do the whole entire spectrum from like how do you at hello, right? Getting to know
Yeah.
people. So brand awareness all the way through to conversion optimization. We're helping each of our clients or anyone who comes into our courses to identify those parts along the journey that they can help educate and grow with their clients to move them along the way. And also understanding, and you talked about a little bit how it takes an outside eye sometimes to look in and understand that. It's because so many times we think we are our own ideal client, and we probably were at some point in the past, but now we're not because we already know everything, right? We know how it works. We know
Further along the journey.
like we've been along the journey. And so sometimes we can get hung up and, well, everybody should already know that.
Hmm.
And helping people to see where are the places that the normal everyday person who's back at the beginning of the journey or who's halfway through the journey is not on, they don't understand. And we can't move someone forward. I've had so many clients tell me, I don't understand why they don't convert. Like I've been on a call and it makes me so angry. And I'm like, we can't be angry at them for not know, what they don't know what they don't know. And we need to help ask the right questions so they can discover where they are along this journey and we guide them. And
Yeah.
so it's all through that messaging and through helping with content and with copy, and there's a difference and we need to do all of it along the way, which is a whole other conversation, but
The whole ever conversation. And I think it's easy to get overwhelmed at this point, right? It's
right.
easy to get overwhelmed. But the truth of what we're sharing with you guys is that you need a base. You need to know this base. And then the process is about layering. So you
Yep.
layer and you optimize. You layer and you optimize. And
Yes.
it's not that you have to do all things,
Right.
but you just need to be doing the right things for you, your ideal client, your business, your goals, all those aspects, get alignment with those things, and then do those things that work to actually move people along from hello, like you're saying, into here's my credit card, right?
Yeah.
So give me a quick story. We just have a few minutes left. Give me a quick story of like, okay, you've seen somebody come in, they're struggling, they're having those conversations where they're getting so frustrated because people aren't converting, to when you've done your work or when they've used this free gift, what do they see on the backside?
Yeah. So one of the most common messaging mistakes, let's say, that people will make is that they are saying, I want to teach you to be a rock star at what I do. And most people don't want to be a rock star at what you do. They want to do what they do, and they need your services or your help to layer on top of that so that they can keep moving forward. And so one of the things that recently I was working with someone on their sales page, and we were looking at just the language, and the sales page was beautifully done, but there were some language issues, and it was all about like, I'm going to teach you how to really rock it in my area of expertise. And the goal here was actually to have them hire this person to do that. So we
Yeah.
don't want to create experts in that area. And so a lot of times we make the mistake. It's like these little tiny things because we're so passionate about what we do. And so making that small change to, I'm going to help you, I'm going to allow you to keep being the expert in what you do, and I'm going to support that, making that language change created all the difference in how that page converts now. And so it's
Mm-hmm.
little things like that. Sometimes it's just a matter of, I know who my ideal client is, but what I'm saying to them doesn't resonate with them. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times when we're in the middle of it, because we love what we do, we can't always see that, and we can't always
Yeah.
identify that.
Yeah, that's really wonderful. So, why should somebody get in on this gift giveaway? What are you seeing?
I think that this is such an important piece because I always say you can't have an echo until you're yelling, and a lot of people are out there yelling and they're saying all
Mm-hmm.
the things they want to say, and ads create that echo. Ads are an amplifier. We don't use ads to get our to say our message the first time. We use ads to amplify the message, and so many people have amazing messages that they just need to amplify. And so that's what I love about this particular, giveaway that I have for them. And also what I love about what you're doing in giving people the tools and the resources that they need to be able to start making small changes. It's all about the small changes. So there's amazing giveaways in here, not just mine, but so many others. And I really feel like it's an awesome opportunity for people to get in and see all these little tiny things that they can be doing that make a massive difference in their business.
Yeah, and I think you're spot on with that. We've had some other guests come on and talk about you could do a whole business plan. The truth is, you don't overwhelm yourself by getting them all, because then you'll not look at a single one of them, and none of us want that for you.
Right.
But there's so many categories of areas that you can improve on that you will find a plethora of rich, genius, spot-on information to do that.
Yeah.
So, Amy, thank you so much for being here. I know we've already got our next guest waiting in the wings.
Awesome.
But yeah, thank you. So get in on the Grow, Profit, Scale gift giveaway, guys. If you're seeing this as live or as recording, type in giveaway and we'll get you in. Now, here's the thing, it ends tomorrow. So we are in the final hours of countdown. I should have a little ticker to kind of help you see how close we are, but come on in. We'll keep the doors open as long as we can and grab gifts such as the one that Amy is sharing with us today. So thanks so much, Amy. Have a great one.
Yeah, absolutely. Bye, everybody.
All right. So that was pretty amazing, right? And spot on for, I think, what is facing today's business owner is the fact that so many of us have had to take our businesses online. And so my next guest, I'm just going to bring you on. Okay, doll. Because I just have not seen you in so long.
Hey, Leslie, so great to see you. Oh my goodness, I've missed you. We've done deep dive work together before, and thank you for having me here. Great to
it's my blessing. So you just heard what we shared with Amy, and I thought, like I say, I think God has a great way of filling things in unique and wonderful ways. And when we sign up our experts for this, it really is kind of like, hey, y'all sign up, first come, first serve. But it's so interesting how siloed and how perfect the groupings have been. And that is why I love that you're joining us today. So Michelle Gunderson, who we've known each other, I don't know, 8 years, something like that. Many years. She's a breakthrough story expert. So she is skilled at helping business owners identify the stories. Now, I don't want you to get confused. Your personal story is definitely valid and definitely one you need to know. But people learn through stories. It's one of those core things that from a very small age, we know how to identify with, right? It's our parents reading books. It's just in our DNA. And I find that people don't use stories nearly enough to help illustrate their point or help people identify where they are on that journey. So Michelle, for that reason, I'm just so super excited that you're here and your gift and all that wonderful stuff. But before we get started, let me give you a moment to shine and tell us a little bit more about you and your business and what you do.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Leslie. You already talked about it. So my passion is stories. That's what I've been working with for so many years. It's what I did my PhD in. It's like, what are the stories that stop us? And we don't even know sometimes. And what are the stories that really free us? And so I help entrepreneurs tell better stories so that they can grow their companies. And change can happen so much faster than we think when we tap into this power of story. And stories are absolutely everywhere. That's the key. They're in our advertisements or stories. We're telling stories here. When we're talking to our team, it's everywhere. So I love watching entrepreneurs dive into story, change their company at the roots, and have huge leaps that they didn't think were possible just by, instead of tweaking over here and over there. All these places that we tweak are all important, whether it's a website or whatever it is. But getting to the root of things so that everything uplifts, everything changes.
Well, one thing I love that you just shared was the fact that, yes, you can use this in your marketing, you can use this in your sales, but it's using it internally, because I think along your journey of growing, profiting, and scaling, especially in the scale stage, when you're building team, the ability to motivate, inspire, enroll, and engage quickly is paramount to getting people to be on your bus and be driving the bus the same direction you want to drive that bus. So I love that this is something that is not just for marketing or sales. It's actually for really culture building and, getting everybody on the same page. Am I understanding that?
Oh, absolutely, Leslie. It's in every area of our companies. It's in every area of our lives. And people sometimes come to me and say, Michelle, why is it you can meet somebody and the next day they're your $20,000 client? So it's sales as well. I feel like I don't have to sell anything anymore. It's just really all about the story. It's understanding our own stories. It's listening deeply to other people's stories. When I did my PhD, my last chapter was called Listening Differently. I think sometimes we just don't listen to each other in this culture.
Yeah.
To be able to listen to other people really closely, and when we do that, it changes things at all levels. It's just it always comes down to the story. And you talked about scaling, and sometimes we think, oh, I've got to be especially when we're just starting out, I've got to be all alone. I've got to do everything myself. I remember when I was trying to fix my website at the back end, just like make one mistake, the website's going to disappear. What am I doing? But
I break my website all the time.
accounting, like all that kind of stuff. But as we understand what the story of our company is, what the story of our ideal client is, I tell my clients we need to know their story, not at that surface level, not even as marketers, salespeople know, but with the closeness, the way J.K. Rowling knows Harry Potter.
Yeah.
He's about to talk to To Chang in the movies, and what's going to happen. It's like, don't say that, Harry. Oh, no, you're going to need your friends alongside you. Why is it that we know more than he does, even at that moment? Well,
Yeah.
J.K. Rowling understands about story, and when we get that, we build a movement, we create change, we uplift the world. And, if you think about it, Martin Luther King, Gandhi, what did they have? They had a story. It transformed the world. So, what if you could have a story so powerful that it transformed all the disempowering stories around you so that your own empowering story prevailed, not yours power over,
Right.
but yours uplifting other people. That's the power story.
Well, and I love what you just shared about listening to hear other people's story, because I'll be honest, that's not something that you hear when people are talking about story at all, right? And so I'm curious, can we, is that a part of your free gift? I don't want to brush over your free gift because it's amazing. So real quickly, Michelle's free gift as part of the Grow Profit Scale gift giveaway is 7 quick tips for crafting an inspiring story that sells. And that's, like we've said, selling externally and internally. You have to be doing both as the business owner. But can we do a small little dive into that listening aspect of it? What's the first thing we have to think about?
Absolutely. Well, tip number 4 of the 7 is all about that, right? So it's 7 quick tips for crafting an inspiring story that sells. And you have to know your audience. As I just said about about Harry Potter, you have to know them so well and so deeply and in such detail. And sometimes people, when I'm networking, I'll come up to somebody and we're just starting a conversation, and I'm just listening at a different level to what they're saying, to what they're not saying, to how they're standing, to what they're to the things that they have say and don't say. And the next sentence, I'll say, "How do you know that? How did you know?" There's people in my life, they've known me for 30 years. They don't know that. How did you know that? And when that quality of listening is about the mastery of story. And so tip number 4 is all about knowing your audience at a deeper level. And then that's connected. When we do that, the magic happens. And one well-known marketer, I got to go out for dinner with him a couple of years ago. Him and his wife was so interesting. He made, I don't know, $1 million in 26 minutes once or something. And he's like, Michelle, you work with story? Oh my goodness. That's all we do. He hangs out with all these, marketers who and he said, we're just wannabe filmmakers. That's all we're ever doing.
Oh.
And so when we understand story and how it works, we can hear other people's stories. We can hear the thing that's inside. We can hear the the desire that they're expressing, but what's underneath that?
Mhm.
I mean, Luke Skywalker, it's right in the movies. Luke
Yeah.
Skywalker, he wants to save the galaxy, yeah, but he wants to get to know the nice princess. He doesn't know it's his sister yet. And he really wants to get to know the father he never knew.
Yeah.
How well do we know people? When we know them at that level, then we can serve. And when we can serve, we can sell, we can market, our companies grow, we create a vision and a mission that people want to jump in with. It changes everything.
And you talk about that, and you're right. I think, there's a phrase, there's the problem people think they have, and then there's the problem that they have. And the art is understanding the difference between the two. Because if you superficially solve the problem they think they have, they'll never really be free of the problem.
Yes. Oh,
Right?
that's so important. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so often people come to me, they say, Michelle, I understand you do stories. So I have this, I'm trying to write my bio. Will you help me with that? I want to tell a little story. I'm on stage. Will you help me with that? Those are stories. I've been working in the field for over 25 years. I've helped so many
Yeah.
people. I help them with that. And sometimes even just our bio, I
Yeah.
helped one client and she's like, do you realize that on your bio, there's 2 places that work directly against sales? She was working with a great copywriter. She went, oh, and when she could see it, she changed it, right? So yes, I help them with that. But that itself can be a disempowering story because
Yeah.
we think that it's just about the bio or the elevator pitch. But when we enter, like the first thing, when I work closely with clients, the first thing that we need to understand together is that story is so much bigger than that. It's our vision, it's our mission, it's how we talk to our team, it's what we say to ourselves about whether we think we can do it or not.
Yeah.
There is no place outside story. When we enter into that broader vision of what story is, one of my clients, when COVID started, she thought her company was over because she was doing, she was doing live events, impossible then, right? Sat there, didn't see the story that was going on inside of her.
Yeah.
It sounded empowering. It's like, oh, I'm going to help my mom for a little while. I've got these things to do. It sounded so good. I said, how selfish of you. There's people who need you, right? And she changed on the spot. She had her best year ever in 2020, best year ever after that in 2021,
Yeah.
going astronomically since. So like understanding that it's just not this small piece. It's how we brush our teeth. It's what we say to our kids about why we're doing the work we do.
Yeah. Yes, or earlier this week, it just feels like yesterday when we were doing a live session with Sasha and Jonathan, we were talking about unconventional and really the fact that there's this old paradigm that said you need to be professional and fit in this box and look this way and act this way and never really show yourself in business. And to me, that's one of the great untruths. Don't call it a lie, but it's not true. It truly is. The more that you can be yourself, the more that you can share your stories, share the stories of your clients, be a little vulnerable in a way of service, right? I think Brene Brown says, don't vomit all over, don't vulnerably vomit on people, but share those emotions, share those concerns and worries and successes, so that people can see themselves being a champion in their own story. So I love this. So tell me, just give us an example, share us a story, if you will, of just the transformation you've seen doing this kind of work can have in a business.
Oh, so many stories, so many. And one that you just talked about right now, vulnerability. I just want to start there. So one of my clients, we hadn't started working together yet, but she stood up at a live event. It was just before I was about to speak about story. And she shared something really vulnerable. She said like that she hadn't shared for decades. And nobody heard her. My heart.
Oh no.
It's like I knew they didn't hear her. She knew, and then we contract. We know we need to be vulnerable, but we contract. And it's like we don't want to. So she learned I was working with story. We started work together. That never happened again because she learned how to share her story and when to share her story and for what audience. We need to know what stories to tell. So sometimes one tweak in how the story is told so that we can actually be heard. And one of my clients, she tried to get on a stage for 3 years. 5 applications, everyone failed. Every one of her applications failed, and it was you could get on competitively, or it would cost about $20,000 to get that same spot on the stage. We just made a small tweak in her story. She immediately got onto that stage. She was so happy. And as she was walking up with the host, she started saying, "Oh, I'll say this," and it was her old story. I didn't have the story. It's her own news story that she owned.
Yeah.
And the host
Yeah.
said, "Don't say that." And she got back to the story that we had talked about. And the host said, "Yes, that." So, knowing that we're always telling stories. Another woman, my client, we just tweaked a couple lines at the beginning of her talk. She doubled her company that year. It was like that. And a couple other places where there were glitches in the stories. I don't know. So many stories, Leslie. But the key point I want to make, I want to tell a story about story. Really, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
When you get a hold of the story, the ones that are inside you, the story of your company, the story that your client is telling, they don't even know they're telling, and your potential client, the world gets so much more fun. We can help people so much more. It's just like, and things move quicker than we imagine.
Guys, if you're watching this, and I hope you're watching this, and you might even share this out, because what Michelle has just shared is golden. And I don't know if you felt this, like, when you know somebody is speaking a truth and doing it so eloquently, even in a digital format, you get pulled in. And I don't know if you could notice me leaning in. I noticed it about myself, but I was like, just captivated, right? And that is effective storytelling in and of itself. So Michelle is modeling it for you in the most eloquent, nice, friendly, accessible way. So you can do this too. So I highly recommend that you grab her gift. It's 7 quick tips for crafting an inspiring story that sells as part of the Grow Profit Scale gift giveaway. So if you're seeing this as a recording, feel free, just type giveaway in the comments and we will make sure that you can access this. So Michelle, one last thing before you go, and I could talk to you forever. Why should people, I know there's so many gift giveaways out there, so why this one?
You attract amazing people. You just do. I was looking at the people you have here. I mean, Tom is here, and Jennifer's here, and Debbie's here, and so Kristen's here, and Carolyn's here. It's so many people that I know who are doing fabulous work in the industry. You do amazing work. So yes, there's other places you could go to, but you're here now. Everything happens for a reason. Why, if you're hearing our voices, everything happens for a reason. I truly believe that. That's an empowering story you can have, and that reason is there to serve us. You're hearing our voices. You have attracted amazing people here, and don't reinvent the wheel.
Nope.
I've been on the journey before you, and that's a disempowering story. We've got this myth of the Lone Ranger. I'm going to do it myself, like I did with my website. No,
I like it. Like, there's no gold star for doing it alone. So why?
Yes.
Why is that our story?
Yes, just there could be just one tip from one of the gifts that will catapult you to that next level. And what if, are you, willing to stand for yourself and that next level of your company and your life? And it's one click away, and it's free. And again, I know these people. These are amazing people, all doing great work here, Leslie. So thank you for bringing us all together for this.
Oh, thank you, Michelle. I've enjoyed having you here. We have our next guest kind of waiting in the wings, but guys, we're less than 48 hours left on this gift giveaway. So you've got to get in, stop delaying, just go in. And if you're watching this and you're already, like, you've gotten in, but maybe you just didn't grab Michelle's gift, you have a few more days to do that as well. So take advantage of that. Michelle, my friend, I know we're talking soon, so I'm really excited about that. But thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. Can't wait to talk to you again. And thank you so much for having me here. Just an honor and a pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So we're going to say goodbye to Michelle. Bye, Michelle. And we are going to bring on our next guest. So let me just do a couple of things here. Unmute. There's so many buttons to click anymore. Let's see. Oh, it says, oops, something went wrong. Give it a minute. This, in case you've never done live, is the value of live. Christy, can you unmute yourself? It's not allowing me to do that. Okay, so we have just a small technical difficulty. I can see you. Let's see. Yep, it's not allowing me to bring you in or unmute you. Do you mind going out and coming back in? Okay, that's awesome. So we've got our next guest coming on. So this is Christy Hansbeck, and she's going to be talking about really being visible. What I've found in the work that I've done with women entrepreneurs is it's really scary to be seen, because we have not always, and it's not always within our nature or within our habit, let's say, to be seen. A lot of times, we're taught, I think, as females and as women, to allow someone else to shine. That to be able to shine yourself is selfish, but that is not beneficial in business and as being an entrepreneur. And I had to go through this myself. myself in 2007. Even though I owned a business, you would not be able to find me. My first degree is in journalism. I'm really good at staying hidden because I understand information, right? And so I was always just, and I still am, I'm very, very intentional about who controls and has my information. And I know some of that's outside of my control, but I know that I impact that. In 2007 and 8, business was great. 809, when we had the Great Recession, business tanked. I couldn't rely on not being seen to drive my business and guide it through that time. So I had to become visible. And it was a journey, but it was one that I will say all the fears that I had just didn't manifest. They didn't come to reality when it came to being visible. Now, if you Google my name, I'm everywhere, and that's okay, right? And I still have my privacy. I still have my private moments, if you will, my anonymity in some ways. But at the same time, I know that if I'm going to do my greatest work, if I'm going to truly be able to see my vision happen in my lifetime, I have to be visible. I have to be findable. So that's really why, oh no, now the guest link. Hold on, let me try to give you this again here. So I'm going to create a new link real fast. Oh, golly gravy. Let's see. There is some sort of glitch because it won't allow me to create a new guest link. Yes, I would like to proceed. Oops, we cannot generate a new link. Let's try one more thing. All right, I may break everything, but hold on. We're going to try one thing. Hold and be patient.